If you've logged into Star Citizen, or Reddit for that matter, during the early days of the Supply or Die event, then you're probably familiar with queues of people waiting at admin center cargo terminals to buy cargo. But for my part, when I watched the official Star Citizen video introducing the event, I was expecting something much more akin to Jumptown than this orderly queue simulator, which makes me wonder, is this how the event is supposed to be? I'm Forrester, and this video explores the Supply or Die event, the different ways to participate, and whether this might all be working as intended or otherwise. So, to start with, the introductory videos on the official Star Citizen YouTube channel talk about the highly valuable Detratrine, this medicinal product that can be used for good or ill, with supply tightly controlled in a Jumptown style arrangement. The cargo is locked down such that players will be fighting over the resource, and it'll be expensive, so although it pays big, there's a significant upfront cost and a big risk for players. That means a lot of PvP at the location and en route to sell up, as well as a tight risk-reward structure. And for those players who prefer to avoid the heat of combat, miners can grab some ice or tin in pyro, and salvagers can work on RMC or construction materials. All of that made sense, something for everyone. The weird bit comes in the form of the alternative cargo supply, where required materials, whether that's ice or corundum or tin or copper, can be bought cheaply in Stanton and used not only to complete the event, but make insane profits doing so. What's more, the materials are very cheap to buy, making the profit margins even more insane. For an upfront investment in cargo of just over 200k Alpha UEC and 1 or 2 runs with a Hercules to deliver to Pyro Gateway, the profit margin for less than an hour's work is nearly 13 million Alpha UEC, and that's completable for the most part by a solo player. This is the path of least resistance, not only an easy way to complete the event, but also to make incredible sums doing so. Despite the supply side challenges with so many players looking to get in on the action, it does make one wonder, why would anybody really bother with a Detratrine or salvage or even mining when it's possible to grind such huge amounts of Alpha UEC? This seems to be an unintended consequence of the mission scaling. During Inside Star Citizen, it was made clear that the rewards were intended to scale with group size, so larger contracts would be completed by larger groups. Split across 3 or 4 people, 13 million Alpha UEC is still a good payout, but much more reasonable. The issue is that for cargo hauling, even with the largest haulers, it's almost just as easy to make the big money as a solo pilot. The only real hurdles are the supply side challenges, with goods regularly out of stock, and of course, the risk of piracy en route. Actually, the increased piracy risk, to this commentator, is a very organic piece of emergent gameplay and makes a lot of sense. People are waiting along the commonly travelled routes, ready to try and interdict and score some of that valuable cargo. And it's not the worst kind of piracy either, because the goods are so cheap to buy, even a full hold of cargo probably isn't a huge loss to a hauler, especially given the sums available to be made by handing in the missions. But for the most part, that piracy is fairly easy to avoid for experienced haulers, making tactical doglegs en route to destinations. The weirder impact of the whole event is going to be the huge amounts of Alpha UEC circulating in the economy afterwards. Even the largest chips are only a few hours work to unlock for a solo player, and people are going to be able to pretty much buy whatever they want. It's no surprise that players are flocking to the event, which, until the next progress wipe, could set people up for a long time. It's going to be very interesting to see what the longer term impacts of this are, and whether this was expected to happen or might be an unintended consequence. Regardless, until something changes, it's quite likely that for the duration of the event there may be long queues at the terminals, and afterwards Alpha UEC really isn't going to have the same value as before. For me personally, I was looking forward to having an excuse to get out and about and salvage some construction materials in RMC before trying to figure out a safe way to deliver it. But a quick look at how easy the copper and corundum routes are, that is the much easier, quicker option, the path of least resistance, and the profits are wild. So I guess that's what this event is now? Of course, that's assuming you've been able to log in at all. I'll be interested to know what you think. Have you been getting involved? Are you in on the gold rush? Let me know in the video comments. As always, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel but would like YouTube to show you more videos like this, then you might want to press that button, and if you thought this video was interesting or thought-provoking, then pressing the like button will give me the prompt to make more videos like this in future. But otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.